Hey guys, welcome back to Flashback Flicks. If you are new to channel, don't forget to subscribe. Without wasting time, let's start the movie recap. Today we are going to recap the story of the 2019 movie Klaus. In the heart of 19th century Norway, our story begins with Jesper, the son of the royal postmaster general. Jesper, known for his indolence and spoiled nature, finds himself at a crossroads. His father, exasperated by Jesper's lack of ambition, devises a plan to shape his son's character. He enrolls Jesper in the postal academy, hoping it would instill a sense of responsibility in him. But Jesper, clever and determined to avoid work, deliberately underperforms at the academy. For 9 months, he coasts through, showing no signs of improvement. His father, realizing that drastic measures are needed, summons Jesper to his office. There, he delivers an ultimatum that will change the course of Jesper's life. The royal postmaster general informs Jesper that he's being sent to the remote island of Smeerensburg, a place so distant it barely exists on most maps. Jesper's task is clear yet daunting. He must post 6,000 letters within a year, or face being cut off from the family's fortune. With no other choice, Jesper reluctantly embarks on his journey to the frozen north. Equipped with only a shabby cart and his wits, Jesper makes his way to Smeerensburg. Along the way, he meets Mogens, a sarcastic ferryman who serves as his first introduction to the peculiar ways of the town. Mogens, with a glint of mischief in his eyes, warns Jesper about the unique challenges that await him in Smeerensburg. Upon arriving in the town, Jesper is greeted by a sight that defies his expectations. Smeerensburg is a place frozen not just by its climate, but by an ancient feud that divides its people. The Ellingbos and the Crumbs, two rival clans, have been at war for as long as anyone can remember. Their hatred for each other is so intense that it has become the very fabric of the town's existence. Jesper, naive and unprepared, attempts to announce his arrival by ringing the town bell. To his shock and horror, this simple act triggers a chaotic brawl between the clans. Weapons are drawn, insults are hurled, and Jesper finds himself in the middle of a conflict he doesn't understand. It becomes clear that posting letters in this town will be far more challenging than he ever imagined. Seeking refuge from the madness, Jesper stumbles upon the local schoolhouse. There, he meets Alva, a woman whose dreams have been crushed by the town's hostility. Once a teacher filled with hope and ambition, Alva now works as a fishmonger. She explains to Jesper that no one in Smeerensburg sends their children to school, preferring to keep them isolated within their respective clans. She also tells Jesper that the bell he rang was the battle bell that caused the Crumbs and the Ellingbos, the two rival groups that lived there, to start fighting. Alva's bitterness is palpable as she reveals her plan to save enough money to leave this miserable place behind. Mogens then takes Jesper to a broken-down post office filled with hens. Jesper, realizing the enormity of his task, tries to rally his spirits. He tells himself that he must persevere or risk losing everything. However, his attempts to collect letters from the townspeople prove futile. The people of Smeerensburg have no interest in writing letters, let alone sending them. Days turn into weeks, and Jesper's desperation grows. In a last-ditch effort, Jesper ventures beyond the town limits, following a map to an isolated house. What he discovers there will change not only his fate but the fate of Smeerensburg itself. The house belongs to Klaus, a towering, mysterious woodsman whose home is filled with handmade toys. Terrified by Klaus's imposing presence, Jesper flees, inadvertently leaving behind his mailbag. This chance encounter sets in motion a series of events that will transform the town. Klaus discovers a child's drawing in Jesper's abandoned bag, a simple yet poignant sketch that stirs something long dormant within him. Driven by an impulse he doesn't fully understand, Klaus seeks out Jesper and insists on delivering a toy to the child who made the drawing. Klaus tells Jesper to deliver a package to the child inside the house. Jesper is afraid to go, hence Klaus throws him, and he lands directly inside the house through the chimney. Jesper leaves the package and is chased by the house owner with a gun. Jesper desperately tries to escape and is saved by Klaus. While leaving, Klaus sees the little boy get the package, open it, and love the toy inside. Klaus is pleased with seeing the little boy happy and goes away. Word of the mysterious gift spreads quickly among the children of Smeerensburg. Soon, Jesper finds himself besieged by young ones, all eager to write letters to Klaus in hopes of receiving toys of their own. Seeing an opportunity to reach his quota, Jesper encourages this behavior, explaining to the children how to write letters and address them to Klaus. The next day, Jesper gets more letters and a few children who tell him that they don't know how to write, so he sends them to Alva. Jesper hears the children talk about how amazing Klaus is and how he loves cookies and can squeeze through chimneys and leave gifts in the night, which makes him a little annoyed. Later, all the toys on Jesper's cart make it so heavy that the horse couldn't pull it, so they decide to use reindeer. The next day, he tells a mischievous boy that Klaus can see everything a child does, keeps a naughty list, and only gives toys to children who behave well. Hearing this, the children start doing good deeds, stop differentiating between the crumbs and the Ellingbows, and begin helping everyone. Soon, the adults start being friendly too and end their ancient dispute. Jesper tells all this to Klaus, to which he says, "A true act of goodwill always sparks another." However, not everyone in Smeerensburg is pleased with these changes. The clan elders, seeing their power and influence wane as the feud loses its grip on the younger generation, decide to take action. They form an unlikely alliance, putting aside their differences temporarily to stop Klaus and Jesper's operation. As Christmas approaches, Jesper realizes that Klaus's toy supply is running low. Desperate to meet his quota, he tries to convince Klaus to ramp up toy production. In doing so, he accidentally statue of Klaus and his wife, unintentionally upsetting him. Jesper returned to the post office, where encounters a young Sami girl, who doesn't speak his language. Initially dismissive, Jesper's growing compassion leads him to seek Alva's help in communicating with the girl. And they discover that her name is Margot, and needs sled. This interaction reignites Alva's passion for teaching, and she begins to see hope for Smeerensburg's future. Later, Klaus visits Jesper, and together they make a sled for Margot. After completing the sled, they go together to give it to a little girl. They leave the sled at her door and hide to see her reaction. In the morning, she is filled with pure joy upon discovering the sled. Seeing her happy, they quietly leave, satisfied. Klaus reveals that he and his late wife, Lydia, had made the toys for the children they hoped to have. When they were unable to conceive and Lydia passed away, Klaus retreated from the world, his grief as deep as the snow surrounding his home. Klaus thanks Jesper for rekindling his joy by making him give those toys to the children, and he agrees to make more toys for Christmas. Jesper later visits Alva, who tells him that she spent all of her savings to upgrade the school and give the children a proper learning environment. She then shows him how the people have started living in peace and says that someone would be a fool to leave Smeerensburg now. Later, while building the toys, Margot gets her people to help Jesper and Klaus, and Jesper and Alva's relationship flourishes. But the clan elders have not given up. They hatch a plan to expose Jesper's initial selfish motives, sending thousands of fake letters to trigger the arrival of Jesper's father. When the royal postmaster general arrives to congratulate his son, the truth of Jesper's original intentions is revealed to Klaus, Alva, and the townspeople. Hurt and betrayed, Klaus and Alva turn away from Jesper. Jesper is disheartened but decides to stay back after talking to his father. The family elders then go to destroy the toys that Klaus had made. Klaus agrees that he'll let them destroy the toys, but nobody should get hurt. As soon as the children of the family elders are about to smash the toys, Jesper takes the toys, puts them in his sleigh, and takes off. The clans start chasing them. As chaos ensues, something unexpected happens. The children of the clan elders, caught up in the excitement, begin to see each other as friends rather than enemies. A budding romance blossoms between two young people from opposing clans. Jesper risks his life trying to save the toys and even protects them from falling off another cliff, but the crumb leader succeeds in throwing the toys. Meanwhile, Alva arrives, and she and Klaus tell Jesper that the toys he was trying to save were decoys and the real toys are safe. Jesper's true character shines through as he prioritizes the happiness of the children over his own goals. His selfless actions redeem him in the eyes of Klaus, Alva, and the town. And they all forgive him. Klaus and Jesper go back to distributing the saved real toys. All the children wake up and find beautiful gifts waiting for them on Christmas morning. Jesper, having found purpose and love in Smeerensburg, decides to stay. He marries Alva, and together they help transform the town into a place of learning and kindness. For 12 years, Jesper and Klaus continue their Christmas tradition, expanding their reach to bring joy to children in far-flung places. As the years pass, Klaus feels the presence of his beloved Lydia calling to him. On a crisp winter morning, he follows a wisp of wind up a sunny hill and fades away, reuniting with his wife in the afterlife. Though Klaus is gone, his spirit lives on in the tales told around the world. The tradition that began in a small, bitter town grows into a global phenomenon. Children everywhere begin writing letters to Santa Claus, inspired by the story of a kind man who brings gifts to those who are good. And so, every Christmas Eve, Jesper sits by the fire, watching the skies. He knows that somewhere out there, the spirit of his old friend Klaus continues to spread joy and kindness, embodying the true meaning of Christmas. The legacy of a lazy postman and a lonely toymaker lives on, reminding us all that a single act of goodwill can indeed change the world. That was my recap of the movie Klaus. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment on your favorite part, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.